Well, this being the 16th of October, it's a beautiful autumn day, isn't it? I just thought I'd like to see the view from the west of, well, we're out of Balloch. I should be able to see the Balloch Loch from here, eh? Yeah, it's down there. That's the Balloch Loch, not to be confused with the Drummond Loch, which is further towards Maethel. So just a couple of miles to the southwest of Crieff, but it's looking very bonny. We've got a cloud to move away. You'll get all the sandstone buildings showing a bit clearer. The churches and the Crieff Hydra and stuff like that. And the lower knock at 793 feet, and the upper knock behind it at 911 feet. Then we've got Mulhonsey Hill further to the east, which is about 1200 feet or more. Locally known as Glaurham. But we've not had any really severe frost yet, so the leaves are continuing. Mind you, they're out quite late this year. They didn't come out until May. But they are starting to turn. This is one of the days that, well, I know that Up and Down really likes this type of foliage. You know, she likes messing about in the bracken, and you know, we had a lot of fun when we were younger, just playing, relaxing around the bracken. But unfortunately, Up and Down and I we've reached a critical conclusion in our relationship. I've still to post the information regarding her insidious decision to buy shares in for the manufacture of lithium for electric cars. Particularly, as I mentioned, that we'd found, well, not we, but companies had found large deposits of the minerals associated with lithium production in Liberia, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, and stretching all the way to the former Belgian Congo. Huge deposits, and the £12,500 I gave her for her garage, for her red Mini, well, she invested the whole £12,500 in these stupid shares, despite her promises beforehand. So unfortunately, we've reached that stage where there's a breakdown in communication, and a further £12,500 that I just couldn't really afford. I wanted to help her along, but added to the 256,713 pounds and 63 pence. It's just shocking. But, it's a very fine place to be, just standing out in the middle of nowhere, aiming your camera at a distant town. It's actually quite extraordinary that Up and Down used to take me up in this road in her vintage Land Rover, many years ago. She always had the Modest Traveller, but this is the Modest Traveller she had, but she also had a Land Rover, and she would take me all over. This, of course, is the Baird's Monument over here. This is the monument to General Sir David Baird. Unfortunately, the light's not catching it precisely at this moment. But over there are the steep mountains surrounding Glenlednock. And I'm very pleased to say that I've climbed every single one of them. Every single thing that you can see in this camera view, all across. This is Carron Choice, up to Connaughton Hill, Auchna Free Hill at the back, Ben Honzie that you can't see, the summit, over to the Blue Crags and Stonefield Hill, and over to Milneveron, way up to Mildew, Knockbeath at the front, and Skilly Crag below, all the way over to Miltalsoon, to Craig McAlpin, and the far reaches there of the Scurran over to Dunmore, and every piece of land you see all the way to the east. I've walked across several times, well, thousands of times, everywhere, including the hill here, which you can't see, called Turlum. Yes, I really miss the days when me and Up and Down used to travel around with a picnic basket at the back, and car approaching from the south, probably travelling at excessive speed. Let's find out. Not bad. And yes, we used to have a very fine picnic basket with a gingham, checked gingham tablecloth that she would spread around, and put a flask. This thermos was a check design as well, but didn't match up with the gingham tablecloth. It was an old tartan type. I think it was a green tartan. I don't know, McPherson tartan perhaps. And there would be a bottle of champagne, or there was certainly lots and lots of food that she would prepare, and we'd park up somewhere, and we'd lie atop of the a woolen blanket and laugh away the day. We had some marvellous times until she started dabbling in shares. Yes, that little white thing is a granite obelisk to General Sir David Baird, and that is the seat. It's called Tomachastle, which actually means hill of the castle. It's a very ancient castle. Was on there until 1829, when the remains were destroyed as a foundation for the granite obelisk to celebrate the death of General Sir David Baird, who had lands. Well, at least his wife, Lady Preston Campbell, had land over east of the Crieff Hydro, over a place called Ferntower. I think I might have mentioned this before somewhere, but it's just nice to reiterate some of the local knowledge. The castle was the seat of the Earls of Strathearn, and if you do some research, you will find that one of the Earls of Strathearn in 1320 is one of the named individuals who signed the Declaration of Arbroath, and that was the ancestral home to the Earls of this beautiful land. And of course, after Culloden, much of the land was then forfeited by the English government, and when it was given back mostly to the Hanoverian supporters of the crown, but not in all instances For example, this Drummond estate that we stand on, which stretches from Callander all the way to the Ochils nearly, was given to the Drummond Murrays. Well, the Drummonds, James Drummond, and we have the sad death of Anthony Murray at Abercairnie was announced just a few days ago, and the lands of Abercairnie, which are not to be mixed up with the lands of the Murrays of Ochtertyre, which is now no longer, because he killed himself in 1978. And a lot of people think there was a responsibility car coming from the south, not travelling at great speed. William Murray, hi there. William Murray was the last of the Murrays of Ochtertyre, and he invested a lot of money in the Pitlochry Theatre, and he had a lot of hanger-oners, so to speak, who exhausted him of much of his wealth, and I think the pressure finally got to him and he killed himself with a shotgun, I believe. Yes, very sad indeed. And his land stretched all the way across Glenturret, of which I've mentioned previously. The last wolf in Scotland was killed over there in Glenturret, and I believe the year of that was in 1715, which coincided with the first uprising of the Jacobites, with the Old Pretender, the father of Charles Edward Stuart, the Young Pretender, otherwise known as Bonnie Prince Charlie. Yeah, I could definitely say it's the first time I can say I really missed Up and Down since a recent breakdown in communication. Most likely it's caused by the sunshine of an autumn day. It's a needless, very needless lack of communication. I don't understand it. It's almost as though I don't fit the bill. There's absolutely no reason that we can't get on. But it doesn't need to impact me anymore. Not really. Not a person like me anyway. Never lack conversation or communication or relationships before. It's just it certainly won't stop me from helping other people in the future. You know? Whatever I need to do to move on from this little episode, I will do. And as hard as it might be, I think it's necessary now. If the weather's okay for the next couple of days, I'm off to Ben Alder. I think they call it McCook's Cottage, where the gamekeeper killed himself. The haunted Ben Alder bothy at the foot of Ben Alder, by the banks of Loch Erich, next to, well, not far, 12 miles from Rannoch. It's a 12-mile walk in from Rannoch Lodge. So, and quite a boggy walking as I recall. I have done it before. I've walked from Dalwhinnie to Crieff, and I passed Ben Alder Cottage just after Bonnie Prince Charlie. Well, it's Prince Charlie's Cave, although you have to ascend a very steep cliff to get to it, which I didn't bother doing, as I was pushed for time and heading. That was the time I got to Crieff, Loch Ossian Hostel in darkness, where they saw me with torches from about 6 miles away, coming through the moorland of the pass. Ben Alder itself is a very dangerous mountain, so I don't think I'll be tackling Ben Alder in good or bad conditions. Not with my levels of experience. It's a very dangerous hill, at least on some approaches. But if I can get to Ben Alder Cottage and spend at least a night there and walk it back, a 25-mile turnaround, it's nothing. And I think it might just be the tonic that I need to break some kind of cycle that's been revolving and keeping me stagnant for, well, that's at least what, 1, 2, 4 months, 4.5 months. That's too long. All because of £256,713.63.